I've got a business model competition this weekend, so it made me think about my business model, which got me feeling a bit sassy. I'm documenting the launch of my business on YouTube. Will it succeed? Let's find out. So why am I feeling sassy? Well, it's because my business is a SaaS. Now that's SaaS with 2 A's, which stands for Software as a Service. Yeah, my software performs the service of creating 3D mockups, and you pay to use it. It's pretty simple, really. You pay to use the software in full, and if you don't pay, you don't get the software in full. In fact, what I do is put watermarks on your images. But there's some more details I kind of want to dive into a bit. Like, who's paying? And where do they come from? And how do you get them? And to do that, I'm going to show you a chart here about how you acquire customers. Now, the industry term for this is a sales funnel, but I actually think that's not a great analogy, because the thing about funnels is they kind of force everything through. I think a better term might be a sales filter, because the thing about filters is that they filter things out and don't let certain things through. And that's exactly what this chart is showing. We start with a certain group of people that see an ad, an article, or a mention of your product. Then a certain percentage of them will visit your site. A certain percentage of those folks will sign up for your free trial. And then of the free trial customers, a certain percentage will become paying customers. Of course, not a lot of people get through this. You have a lot more up here than down here. For example, this transition is the click-through rate, which is usually only a few percentage points. But the thing is, you don't need everyone to be your customer, you just need enough to be profitable. And so that gives you this basic equation, or inequality, I guess. So as long as your customer acquisition cost, which means that you get enough people to see this article or ad or whatever, that you get one paying customer, as long as that is substantially less than your customer lifetime value, which is the amount your customer will spend over the lifetime of being your customer. Then, of course, you have your operating costs, which is hosting, support, whatever, but it's usually pretty small for a SaaS. And of course, it's the marginal operating cost, so it goes down for every customer you gain. So let's take a look at the customer lifetime value again. Here's how you calculate it. For example, if a customer is spending $30 a month over 12 months, their lifetime value would be $360. Now, if you can spend a fraction of that to reach them, say a sixth of it, $60, then you're in business, literally. Now, of course, the rate of someone seeing an ad to becoming your customer is pretty low, like fractions of a percentage point. But that's fine. Say you get 1,000 people and you reach one of them. That's one customer. Do you think you could spend, say, $60 to reach 1,000 people? I think you can. Well, now, of course, these are totally made up numbers, but people have gotten this to work, and it does work with real numbers. Now, my product's not for sale, so I don't have real sales numbers, but I have run an ad. It's actually this very ad you're watching, which I ran on YouTube to get email addresses. And I can show you those results here. And it works just like the previous funnel. YouTube will show a certain amount of people the video. I paid them the princely sum of $10 a day to show people. And a certain percentage of them will actually watch the video, i.e. won't hit the skip ad. And actually, YouTube doesn't charge you if people hit the skip ad. And I had a 25% view rate, so about 3/4 of the people skipped the ad. Which is honestly fine. I'd rather people skip if they're not interested. I don't get charged, and I don't have to waste their time. And then I had about a 2% click-through rate, so about 2% of people wound up on my site. And I had about an 80% sign-up rate. And the reason I think that was so high is because I was very clear in the ad that the reason you'd go to my site is to sign up for my mailing list. And ultimately, the result of all this was about 10 to 15 signups per day. And since I spent about $10 a day, that works out to about 75 cents to $1 per email list. Now, of course, there's a big difference between signing up for an emailing list and being an actual paying customer. But even if it costs like 10 times or even 30 times as much to reach them, I'm still probably in a good place. And I think I can make this equation, or rather inequality, work. And that is basically my business plan. If it costs me less to acquire a customer than what they ultimately pay, then I am literally in business. Thank you.